Hi, welcome back to the Hyperstamper YouTube channel. I'm Laura and I want to show you a brand new junk journal that I've made, and this is using an antique book from 1923 called Better Than Play. It's got a beautiful original image inside its original border, and it's this lovely image of two kids pulling flowers and making a bouquet for this lady here. Some people in the background. It's just lovely. I did some repair to the spine so I could thicken it to make it chunkier, and covered that with some lace and this little bangle here at the side made with some vintage jewelry and ribbon and lace. So let's take a little journey inside this one. I've got the original first pages. This is how I found the book. It just says 1920 something there. And that is, I love keeping the original pages in, as I always do. Everything in here is authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera. And this is quite a chunky book, and it's about 5 by 7.5, which is your normal antique book size. And let's take a look. Everything in here is authentic except for these tea dye pages that I added. So we've got theater arts pages from the 50s. I've got this lovely little pocket here that I made the cluster out of birch bark, vintage crochet, vintage stamps, and antique book pages, and a cute little journaling envelope there from an antique book page. It's just so much to look at. I can't even cover it all. This is from 1937, this page. This is an antique book that had a map in it from a history book. This is a plate from the Bobbsey twins from the 30s. Look at this sweet little plate here. Towards the little island the children's boat was now drifting. It's so sweet. So that's tucked in there. You can use it for whatever you like, even if you want to journal. It's blank on one side. 1950s receipt here, and 2 banking tickets here, or stubs. So that's a quad pocket there that I made. A children's book page here, Girl at the Beach. And another one here. Look at how sweet these kids are fishing at the lake. That's so sweet. And this is another sweetheart pocket here that I've made, and I've put a little hidden journaling spot under this piece of vintage upholstery fabric. And inside this pocket is a 1938 Paris, France almanac page. And behind here, this is cool. I think this is the last of them. This is another liquor license that I have from 1877 from the Internal Revenue Department of the United States. And it is spectacular, and it's in really good condition. It's still got the serial number up here. It's very, very cool. Very cool. So I think you'll enjoy that. Made this little cluster here out of an antique book page from the early 1900s. And inside here is this beautiful English antique postcard. Look at how they've tinted that. And that is from 1905. Isn't that fantastic? With a little message on there that you can read. And this is from the 1915 Girls' Own Almanac book. And it's just got the most lovely little images there. Aren't they sweet little girls there? So you can have lots of fun with those. And in this pocket is a little photograph of Trixie the dog, which is part of the family's photo album that I have been collecting and handing out in my journals. More theater arts pages. This is a American Road Highway atlas map, and just lots of little hidden pockets here. This is from 1850, this page from a veterinarian's book, and that's a beautiful peacock there. And then in here is just a little pocket I made out of an antique dictionary page, a mini pocket dictionary, and I just made a little booklet there. Have some antique paper. So it's a pocket in a pocket. And there's another Paris, France almanac page there, antique book page here, and a page from the vintage watercolor instruction booklet. This is a 1970s, early 1970s book. There's a little fairy there. And over here is a pocket. Hold on, sorry. Oh yes, I thought so. Okay, sorry. There's you open her up and behind her is another antique book page there. Sorry. And then here is a nice little cluster of antique papers that I turned into a journaling tag, and that's under some vintage lace. Another vintage crochet pocket here, and I've just turned that into 2 journaling spots using a Victoriana furniture book page, vintage. And this is a 1950s Wonder Bread receipt. Isn't that fun? And I made the pocket out of a 1930s children's book page there. And, oh, this is quite old here. So this is the Better Than Play. That is the first page of this book here. Buttercups and Daisies series. So that's the original first pages there. I tucked in. Little journaling spot up here. A 1950s. Yes, look at this dress. This is awesome. Look at these. Oh my God, talk about Brady Bunch. Isn't that fantastic? It actually might be later than the 50s. That might be 60s. And that is from a very cool magazine. Great colors, typical of the era. And over here is a 1950s calendar page. And I found some pressed leaves inside this book, so I kept them with the book. And I like they pulled this out of the dictionary, goddess. This is a vintage bit of cross stitch, and it's so soft and beautiful. Another children's book page here, and here a song that they tell you how to use your fingers. Here's the church, here's the steeple. That's that song there. And that would be the original way to teach that song was from this book and this author. 1930s Monopoly money, vintage playing card, and a wonderful photograph. And that is Joan on the SS Kingston on the Sagani trip Grandma and her took in 1937. A vintage cooking book page in full color, and that was a big deal way back. Another one of those wonderful children's song pages. Another floating pockets page here made out of a vintage sewing book. French almanac page again. And this is just a really cool page out of a children's school book. And it was blank on one side, so I thought that would be a good journaling spot. There we go. You can make lots of fun clusters with these almanac pages too. There we go. If you want to switch one out, you can just ask me when you order on Etsy. And I can switch out just about anything for something you prefer or add something. Happy to do it. And that brings us to the back right after this vintage Birdwatchers logbook, Daughter's Land. And we'll just get back to the, sorry, there is more to go. This just never ends. Souvenir page, a vintage art book there, and another souvenir page, children's book page, and that brings us to the end. I took this from a book here, the end page, and tucked in a journaling pocket. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. You can see that and all the other journals I have for sale on hyperstamper.etsy.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see them before they hit Etsy. Bye for now.